Welcome to the Fantasy Pavilion, your home for fantasy sports.
Yes, guys, welcome back to the Fantasy Pavilion, your home for fantasy sport, and we are here to discuss F1. Ignore that. Well, yeah, that F1 we're doing tonight. Of course, guys, we know that the Belgium Grand Prix is coming up very, very, very soon. Sunday this weekend we finally have the first half or the summer break is finally over, and now we are back to discussing F1. If you're following this channel, you know we have a bumper season. It's FPL, UCL announced the group stages were announced today. So we have to do as well. CPL is up next week, so we're doing that tonight. We have a lot to uncover and unfold, but of course tonight is all about F1 and Spa. And of course, we also have to discuss Daniel Ricciardo. Well, of course, no one's surprised if anyone's following the story at McLaren. No big surprise there. We wish him the best. He says he will announce soon his next move, his future move. So let's see how that rolls from there. But of course, we're here to discuss Spa, a very interesting track. You know me, I like to always put the tracks with something, master tracks with something in real life. This particular track has a very weird shape, as you can see. I was saying it looked like a water gun or I don't know, even an anvil. This is a very weird shape. But of course, Spa, Belgium. And we will obviously be an island there this Sunday for the live watch along. So look out for us there. Let's get into the quick track analysis really, really quick. So, of course, as you guys know, race weekend always starts on the Friday. So, 26 tomorrow, practice one early. Most of the European races will be early. So, 8 a.m. and then practice two is at 11 a.m. So, that will give us a gauge of how the players are looking, how the races are looking, how the cars are looking for Spa. And of course, on Saturday, 27, practice 3 at 7 a.m. And then qualifying at 10. And of course, race day Sunday, early in the morning, 9 a.m. So far, the weather forecast is looking favorable, but Spa has its own weather system, right? Spa is very weird in that fact. So we're not too sure what to expect. It should be okay. It is normally or traditionally a one tire stop. There are always occurrences of safety cars for 6 years running now. Also, of course, Bottas has the fastest lap since the last time they would have raced here. And it's a very short race. It's 44 laps. So this race should be, well, I know, of course, with, as I just said, safety car history and whatnot. But 44 laps. And last time too, Williams was on the podium, so very interesting as well. First time in 4 years. So let's see if we can if there'll be any major upsets. Very interesting to see how that goes. So of course, let's take a quick look at the track. So as I said, very weird shape. This looks favorable. I think it looks pretty decent in the sense that I think there will be easier ways people to overtake. Shouldn't be too difficult, not looking too narrow. I think it should be all right. Based on the first Grand Prix in this race was 1950. The race distance is 308 kilometers. I said very short lap record, as I said by Valtteri Bottas. So I am very, 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 very interested in how things play off here. And we could even look at the 2021 race results from so because that obviously would have been the last time they would have raced here. And obviously, as I said to you, Max first, Williams was second, and of course Lewis third. Very, very interesting there. Big up Ishmael in the chat in the cup. Oh, hey Javid boy. Oh, Yes, bro. FPL tonight, bro. Real Madness tonight, bro. So FPL about 9 o'clock, and then we're doing CPL as well about 11 p.m. ish, Javi. So
11 p.m. You have me here,
yeah,
boy.
bro. If you wanna come for the CPL, bro, come down, bro. You know you want to do it, bro. 11 p.m., bro. Yeah. So
No.
a bumper night. It's a real bumper because CPL
Mm,
is next week, so we can't stick. But let's focus on the F1 for now, and we'll
I
jump
said
back.
you
But
gonna have me up till 1 o'clock tonight.
well, I'm gonna. Well, why not? You sound like that's a problem. You don't even know nothing
I
till
start
Sunday
feeling a
again.
little sick today, so I'm gonna just take my panel before we start here, right? Because you gonna have me here till 2 o'clock in the morning.
Why you going, bro? Me no go. I saw you take it sick, man. No gosh. I saw you take
No.
that. Like you eat a bad dollar, an instant dollar.
No, no, no. I just had
But
a job interview today, and after that, I just started feeling real tired.
oh Lord,
But I realize it's probably more sick than, just mentally draining from them
just
kind of
message
people.
you
Boy.
from the day. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. Before we move on, was we just lightly chatting. You all have to check out the instant Kalu. It's a Kalu was lit. It's real good boy. Nice man, it was good.
It was good, it was good.
Yeah, we're gonna
I
do a
realize I'm not
TikTok.
following you on Insta,
I have
so
a
you understand my
TikTok pending.
profile.
Yeah, I'll send it out. No problem. I have a
Yeah.
TikTok pending on it, so I'll send you guys. I'll post that very soon. So yeah, we're talking about Spa really quickly. So I was just breaking down what happened last time, and as you can see, a very interesting person in second there, Ishmael, very interested. Um, a Williams driver, George
Yeah, that
Russell.
was that was a beautiful race, beautiful
Yeah.
race.
So lots to come again. Of course, your boy was in fourth there, so not too bad in McLaren.
That he doesn't exist anymore in F1, as I've mentioned previously.
We,
I have,
we.
unless he announces that he's driving for Alpine, I have officially come to terms with the fact that he is no longer racing. I know, like even after for Renault when he announced his move, he started driving better there. So I mean, we can hope for the same thing, but for now, I'm not putting my heart on my sleeve again for him right now. I kind of accept the fact that his driving style and McLaren isn't good. Although
Yeah,
he's
and
the
it's
only driver in the last decade to give them a podium,
give them
first place.
something. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Well, especially with I think everybody they rather Norris clearly.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Norris
they
is their
prefer
boy.
Norris. Right, moving right along. So as I said, so we inspired this weekend with a very weird shaped track. Okay, so let's break down the track really quickly. So we are starting. So we're starting here from one. So there's a beautiful turn here. So it's 1 to 2, nice straight. As I said, this track looks favorable for overtaking. I don't think it should be a terrible track for overtaking. It looks pretty decent. And of course, only 44 laps. So yeah, we'll be once there's no rain and no safety cars. But as I said, there's a history of safety cars for the past 6 years. So let's see. Moving right along, nice straight there to 5. Interesting turn there, 5, 6 to 7 there. So we might see some interesting maneuvering there. Hope McLaren could do that. They're braking sus. Straight from 7 to 8, a nice bend again, a nice corner again into 9. Coming again, a slight corner into 10 to 11. Coming on road sector 2, we have on corner there, 12 into 13. Straight again till 14. Corner again, 15. Corner not straight, but nice path all the way to 16. Slight turn there, 17. Coming on the road again, we have 18, 19, and then back to the start of the grid. We have 2 DRS detection zones. So again, but this ignoring that, I think this track is decent enough for that, as I said, overtaking and is a one stopper. Normally a one stopper, but again, the weather and whatnot may play a part.
No,
So
well, according to your boy Michael, whoever it is, normally you just add one to it, right? So
yeah,
there's a two
normally.
stop on all, right?
Yeah. But normally.
Yeah. So
Right, normal.
I'm not sure how much you've started discussing. I was a little bit late there. Sorry about
Yeah, no problem.
that. I think the major discussion for this week should be the upgrades coming in
Yeah,
from the
Williams.
different teams.
Yeah, well,
All the
mostly
different teams.
Williams. Well, mostly because everybody else did upgrades. It's mostly Williams who never
I don't
did
think the
upgrade really.
Haas had their full upgrades.
Yeah, I don't think they did something, but not full because they were saving it for this summer break, so I don't
Yeah,
know what they were saving it for.
so they'll probably be bringing their upgrade soon as well. You have
Yeah.
we have to talk about Red Bull and Ferrari with their strategic flooring
Well,
no
I saw
longer
that there
being.
was some not rule changes, but they're going to be enforcing something this weekend, I believe. With none, I don't know if it's flooring, but I saw something in an article where they're going to be enforcing. So let's see, because there's some new FIA rules and whatnot, something that they're going to start enforcing there, but about the purposing. So I guess the flooring. So yeah, let's see how that goes. And of course, as you rightfully say, Red Bull and Ferrari have been very strategic in how they were wording and how they were getting away with what they were doing. So yeah, take a look at the start the discussion and we get into the fantasy. And yeah, and wrap it up as quick as possible because as I say, bumper 99. Bumper.
Yeah, no problem. So yeah, like the thing is, I think this is a very interesting season so far. It's been really wonderful to see cars follow each other behind. But I
Mm.
think this is like even in football we have a unique season this season, but like this is a unique season as well because I would say almost everything you had pre-break, I kind of go in with an open mind to post summer break
Okay.
because I think the grid could have a lot of changes to what we kind of build ourselves up to during because when we beginning of the season we didn't know what to predict at all, right?
Of course.
And we kind of realized and figure out how certain cars have their reliability, their performance, their different things, right? But I think the target for a lot of those teams, right, would have been to come out strong for the season, of course. But I think their fallback point would have been the mid-season, right? And I think like teams like Mercedes, for instance, we Michael and I were kind of coming up with this theory that maybe Mercedes were running Lewis at different configurations to collect data to
Right.
make upgrades to their car. So now you might see a different Lewis coming in to after this break because you know he might be getting best what he can now because I think they genuinely up there for P2 in the constructors, right? And this big, huge piece advantage that Ferrari had, I don't think it's going to be there anymore. And I think, it's going to come down if Ferrari does anything. It's not going to be like their cars good, coming out after the first 3, 4 races, like, yo, let's not end the race, let's not end the championship so early. Charles, he don't need to run away. Let's get our competition anymore because of the car. It's going to be, all right, Charles manages to get a podium. That's good driving on his part because, it's driver talent now will play a bigger role than the difference between cars.
Yeah.
And I think besides the top three, we could call them the Red Bull, Ferrari, Mercedes. There were a lot of developments for these other teams, right? Because FA could kind of put everybody back onto level pegging when they changed the rules here, right? Because nobody knew how this new regulations would affect the different teams. And we saw, like AlphaTauri and Williams had some good decent moments, but they weren't like anywhere near the midfield. They were no 1 or 2 races they were up there, but the rest they weren't. Haas was kind of competing for like fifth or sixth.
Mid-tail. Yeah.
There
Yeah.
you had Alpine competed mid-table. McLaren was the best of the rest at certain points, but I think at least for these teams moving into the second half of the season, I think they in particular could start changing up things because I don't know if you want to go to the stands or the constructors, but like some of these teams are not that far off each other, right? And like 1 or 2, if they get 2 drivers and the points for some of them, that makes a huge difference, right? So if we look from McLaren straight down, and is it Williams last? Yeah,
Yeah.
Williams last, right? I don't really expect too much of Williams, but like teams like Aston Martin, AlphaTauri, Haas, right? Even up to Alfa Romeo, like they were all competing to say, listen, we might not be up there with the top three. We might not be with the Alpine, McLaren for the best of the rest, but we could probably try to get that P6. Still a decent prize money and stuff when
Yeah.
the season ends, right? So I think, teams like Aston Martin, who we figured at times had good cars and they just weren't utilizing it as best as they should have, right? I don't know if you got that impression too, because
No.
at certain races they looked really good at certain like practice sessions or certain things,
Yeah.
and then they came out and said at certain points that the configurations weren't the best.
Yeah.
So maybe they could get their stuff in order right now and
Yeah. As they
reach
had the
up to
break.
that
Yeah.
P7, P6, AlphaTauri could say, okay, like this was a kind of disaster in the beginning. We were supposed to be a lot better than that. Let's show them our true potential. And then it have certain drivers who have nothing again to prove, right? Because they
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
Alonso who will be, doing what he needs to do. We have Danny Rick who will be moving on. You have Seb who will be moving on.
You're right.
So
You're
they
right.
they no longer have to get that added pressure of I need to score points for the team, I need to do this with that. They kind of have nothing to lose at this point, especially if
Yeah.
drivers like Seb and Danny Rick, who may not, well, Seb confirmed that he doesn't have, but Danny Rick may not have anything after the season. So these drivers is a huge loss for F1, I would say,
Yeah.
to lose both of them in the same season, right? But at the same time, like they have nothing to lose. They have drivers from Haas, Kevin Magnussen, who probably not expecting next year to be there. So he's probably just gonna do the best he could do, and maybe he finally got that 3 weeks to get his body a rest and maybe get a little bit of extra training in to strengthen up his body and stuff like that. Where he just got a call out of the blue and had to start driving and training and stuff. So that wasn't probably his best. So maybe he could come and show us his best. Seb could come show us his best. Daniel could come and show us his best. So like, there's a lot of potential. I think for the end of the season. I know a lot of people saying, well, championship done, marks win, right? Rap
Yeah.
seal delivered.
Yeah. People
But
saying that.
that might be true. That might be fair. But there's so much more stories to be played out
Yeah.
besides that one story. Maybe that
Well,
one
it's just
story is
like
enough.
it's just like Premier League. And you can see like last season you say like Liverpool City nobody catching them, but the mid-table battles, the relegation battles.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, if I so just to chip in what you're saying there, I think the top four as we have it now is that's it.
In that
Even
order.
though, even though, no, not no, the Ferrari is gonna drop to fourth, but even
Fourth, you
though,
say?
even though,
You
it,
watching that between 3 and 4?
yeah.
You watching that gap, right?
Watch and see. Well, they'll drop to two. Let's be fair then. Mathematically, they'll drop to two. But the way they're playing strategy wise, fourth. But I know they can't do that mathematically.
Alpine is like
But they will. They will.
200 points
No, but
behind.
you Ferrari doing trash, but they will drop to
No,
two, and I
no.
think it will stay. It will stay like that because yes, it's close like Mercedes, McLaren. But I don't think McLaren. Like, right now, we have to say Ocon doing a real good job, doing his thing, keeping it steady at where he is supposed to be, his level, because his level is there with that Alpine, and I think he's doing his thing. So I think fourth with the constructor, I think that's fair for Alpine,
I
and
think
I think Ferrari gonna drop the two.
if you look Alpine versus McLaren, right? That's a brilliant matchup to see how they go through
Yeah,
the rest of the
how they
season, right?
finish off. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And if you look at the driver by driver, let's say Norris versus Ocon, right? I think um Norris with I think with the same car, Norris just might have the edge. That might be a little bit biased because I kind of like Norris a little bit more than
right,
Ocon,
right, right.
but I honestly do think Norris have a little more talent driving wise, and he has had some significant experience. I would say in the McLaren because I mean yes, Ocon has had his experience as well, but I think um Ocon had a lot of races where he didn't finish and stuff like that, where I think you had Norris battling with Lewis, he was battling with Max, he was battling with Perez. Ocon hasn't had that opportunity as yet, unfortunately. So I think Norris might just be a little bit better right now. And then when you have Daniel versus Alonso, obviously Alonso is a much better driver, but Daniel is not somebody who can't hold his own against Alonso, right? So I think driver free driver, if they have around the same level of the vehicle, if the cars are on the same level, I think it'll be really interesting to watch. I think Norris has the upper hand on Ocon, but I think Alonso might have the upper hand on Daniel. So it'll be really interesting to see.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm biased too because I like Ocon. Ocon is the reason that I'm still watching F1. So I will back Ocon. But I understand what you're saying. Technically wise, I think Norris might edge him. Um,
Yeah, no, you
yeah,
just had the
yeah.
better
Because
experience so far.
if they in the same vehicle as you rightfully said, for
Yeah,
sure, for sure.
yeah.
I feel so. I don't I can't fight it. Fair is fair. Right. So of course we could just lightly touch the fantasy bar really quickly. It's already almost 8. Not rushing, but as I said, a bumper night tonight. Um so let me just bring it up quickly. I didn't bring it. Yes, it's up here.
So we're saying Daniel is somebody to bring in because his price going up.
Well, boy, I don't know. I don't know. As you can see, my team. This is the first time watching my team since the break. So after that, I'm now this stimuli. It's I'm like, oh
Yeah,
wow,
picking
okay.
up what's going on.
I have
Yeah.
Alvin. All right. I have Albon. All right. And even though Albon there, I have Albon. Okay. Ricardo. Well, I have faith in Ricardo. People will tell me drop him out. I might keep him. As you rightfully say, maybe now that he's leaving, his head space might
So I
be
actually watched
focused on the road.
episode 5, Drive to Survive, this week, I think. And that was Monza after the break
Right.
when Dan Eric made his decision. When he was having a difficult time at McLaren last
Right.
season, and after the break, I'm not sure exactly which race it was, but after the break, he came out and he showed them who's boss. He showed them that he's still out there. He said,
Right.
I think that was the one. He said, if you think I wasn't here or something, I'm still here. Something like that was the quote. Tell him that he's still there, he's still fighting, he's still around. So I think drivers like Danny Rick and stuff, when they get that, and Lewis Hamilton, and then when they get that refresher, they just pump hard after the break. So I would say hold on to him for now.
Okay. No problem with that. We could always okay. So my team two. What do you think? Team two. I think this team two need a little work.
All right, so
Definitely
that's
some work.
Norris, Gasly, Lando, Ocon, Alonso, Red Bull.
That's a
Yeah,
differential team for sure, except for the Red
that's
Bull construct.
yeah, for sure, for sure. Um, I like the Alonso pick. I could live with the Ocon pick. The double Alpine is okay. I think usually either they do good or bad together, so I would not have gone double Alpine. But if it's one of the constructors outside the top three that I'll go double with, it'll be Alpine.
Yeah,
So I
for
could
sure.
I could be fine with that.
Yeah.
Um, Gasly, I'll probably swap out Gasly for now. Let's see where AlphaTauri lands with. Right. Norris, I could hold Norris probably this race and see how he goes. Red Bull, I think they may not be outright winners, but I think they will probably get a podium.
Yeah.
And probably both drivers could most likely finish within the top 6. So that's some good points. And well, yeah, I don't know what to say about that one there.
And then team three now.
Yeah.
Now see what I try to do. I try my best not to have the same drivers. I try. It's very difficult, obviously,
Yeah,
but
when
I
when you could
try.
get Leclerc, Perez, and Sainz for that price, you end up like me, who have them in all 3 teams.
Yeah.
You know, I really can't take them out because like the price for possible return on investment is so brilliant, and I just can't. So
But
even though
obviously,
Ferrari does their Ferrari,
yes, correct. Yeah, took the words right at my mouth.
even those Ferrari do their Ferrari things, I'll just have to take the L on the weekend and move forward because at the end of the
Yeah,
season, I expect them to come up with more points than certain drivers.
correct.
And to remove them and bring them back in, I'll probably lose currency, during that time or stuff like that. So it's just like I had them at the beginning and I never removed them and they stay in there and then I'm moving from there.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. And Russell and Perez on that team, brilliant, brilliant.
Yeah, that's
Austin
good
Martin,
couple.
yeah. Austin Martin, I think with Seb, he'll come out and he'll want to finish off on our strengths.
Hi, yeah.
Yeah, and I think even if we don't get that, if we could, like, you see price possibly going to raise for them, so you might just get a little extra currency and say, all right, well, we might need to move on and move on. No
Yeah.
problem.
If you give him one good race here, then it increase. I'll take that.
Increasing thing, yeah, and then
Yeah,
move on from
yeah,
that. No
yeah.
problem.
But you can give
Yeah.
a top 10. I'll take a top 10. I really from people like Aston Martin. So like Aston Martin and those kind of constructors. I take in a top 10 easy. Alpine coming forward. So I'll take that.
Schumacher, Kevin Magnussen. That's my eternal.
Ooh,
That's my eternal gripe right now.
way.
Because I believe in Schumacher and I believe that he will reach there
Yeah,
eventually.
yeah,
But I think right now the
yeah.
return on investment, Kevin probably gives you a bit more right now.
That's an interesting one, boy. I don't know, boy. I would say Marco. Yeah, that's a very interesting conundrum to be in.
Yeah, for sure. I
Yeah.
honestly thought Alex might have done a little bit better, but I don't know, man. It's a Williams, so I can't really be too disappointed.
That's it. That's it.
But I'm not sure if Latifi's showing up or if Alex not performing his best.
Yeah.
But for what Latifi's been doing versus Alex, I expected Alex to be miles and like how Russell was just there.
Correct.
I expected the same from Alex. So I'm not sure if Latifi finally getting into this. All right, I am a F1 driver. Let me show something out of it. Before they call for my head at
Yes, I want to shut
Fantasy
out.
Pavilion.
But I
So
think,
yeah,
honestly, what I'm thinking, Ishmael, a cheeky thing to do is do nothing. I think
yeah,
I just
yeah,
want to
yeah, yeah,
see
yeah,
what,
yeah,
as I'm
for
treating this like
sure.
if it's day one, the first race of the season. Let's
For
just see.
for team one, for team one, having Max and Hamilton, I wouldn't touch that.
Yeah,
For
for
team
sure.
three, having Russell and Perez, I wouldn't touch
Correct.
that. So
Correct.
the only thing
The
I might
whole,
do is probably look at that Gasly pick. I think out of everybody,
yes. I think that's the only, yeah.
Gasly might be the
Yeah.
only one I would want to
Yeah.
play with.
I
If
have
you
to
want to
see who's
say,
a cheap
okay, Albon,
alternative.
Latifi, Schumacher, fine. But I don't mind holding on to them. But that
Ooh, I
Gasly
have
pick before,
8.8 in the bank.
at least
Damn.
before his price drops now. You don't want to lose money on him and then lose that
Yeah.
one time. That's a huge bank you have there, bro.
Yeah, I'm seeing I have real money here. At 8.8 because it was a differential team, so that's why it's so low. That's why it's
Yeah.
so low. Is that I could get a good because I never
Perez,
very expensive
Sainz,
constructor. Sus.
Perez
Sus.
probably. Perez. I would probably go with
Perez.
Perez in this pick.
I said need to go wild and go through. Go
Well,
real wild.
it's yours, right? So you do what you want,
Real
right?
wild.
Yeah.
Real wild. Oh, pick so you pick Magnussen, I pick Schumacher. Wildness. There we go. Why not? I'll do it. Team two. But so
Yeah, Barry,
Schumacher.
you have me on team one, so I probably wouldn't double up on that right now.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Well, then, I don't have
Yeah.
Margans, but Lego Mag.
Um,
Lego
for
Mag, come.
this race, I think Perez will get a better return for the money you have.
I really feel strong. I don't like it. I feel strong.
Yeah, but whatever you feeling.
Next thing you know, Stroll, they do well. If it rains, Stroll, so I need rain.
I mean, if it rains, I
Because the amphibians are Lewis, Stroll. Um, oh gosh, I used to have the list so well. When I'm going to get back to it, I know for sure Lewis and Stroll are the amphibians of this. Vettel, I think, is an amphibian
think
as well.
Bottas is pretty good in the arena as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yes, he was on my list too.
Yeah.
Amphibian.
But
Shizzle.
I want to jump off that we call this Alfa Romeo train right now. because I think the drivers outperform in that car by miles.
Yes, for sure, for sure, for sure, for sure,
I think they
for sure.
didn't do any. Their upgrades weren't as good as the other teams. So
Yeah.
I jumping off that train right now.
But I think too. I don't know what happened, but Bottas started really, really well. He had a very good start,
Yeah,
solid
no,
start,
I
especially for
think the
someone
car
that left
was.
Mercedes. You know.
I think the car was honestly, genuinely, possibly the third best car at the start.
At the start, correct,
They were better than Mercedes, I would say for sure, and I think
correct,
they had the edge
correct,
over McLaren.
correct.
So they were the best cars, and then McLaren kind of fixed their issues a little bit and dropped them. Alpine saying, "Nah, I out there." Haas say, "I could come one or two races in between," and then you had Mercedes incrementally and methodically building up back their car. I think they went with, they say, okay, well, that's where we're at, no problem. We didn't want to be here. We shouldn't be here, but let's not panic. Let's take our time and do things in a very methodical way and guarantee that by the break we're at least competitive, and by next year we could show that we don't stay down for long.
Come on, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. I'm next to
Um,
it.
I saw something saying you don't bet against one of the drivers. One of the drivers were talking, and they were like, "You don't bet against this particular driver." And I'm trying to remember if it was Alonso they were talking about. I believe it was. And yeah, if Alonso there, you can't really bet. He's a four-time world champion, I believe, right? So unless I'm mixing up that, but yeah, I'm not sure if you're disconnected, but yeah, I guess I'll continue the show by myself. Not sure if you're just webcam out or your audio out. Somehow you're still sharing screen. So yeah, if I had to go for like a cheeky driver there, I'd probably go Daniel Ricciardo as a cheeky driver to bring in. So yeah, a good question is if we should still stick on the Ferrari constructor, or if we could free up some of that money going somebody like Alpine. And I think right now, I'm not sure like what the team's gonna do after the break, but definitely coming up to the break, Ferrari has been losing my confidence. So I would definitely go something like Alpine. I am yet to check my team, however. I'm not sure if I want to because I had some thoughts before the break that I planned out and I had my team ready. So I'm not sure if I'll be checking them there or I might just try on them and make some last minute changes. I'm not sure as yet. So we'll see. Not sure if you
That's
was
really
here,
good.
man. I was just
No, I was hearing it good. It wasn't him at
yeah.
all.
No, I wasn't hearing you at all. I wasn't
Yeah,
seeing you.
because someone here, Thomas calling me a while ago. Thanks for calling on there. I don't know. That's upset me when I was in the phone approach trying to call me. Yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
Right.
So
So
yeah.
yeah, but yeah, I agree with that. I agree with those there. And of course, I think as I say, I'm gonna use this as a like a first day
Yeah,
back
yeah,
just to
it does. It
see.
really does
Yeah.
feel like that because I think this is
Yeah.
a different. You can't really. I mean, we this is the first time we really playing it so like this, right? But
Yeah.
even self, I think that the previous kind of you know definite do's or definite don'ts not so definite anymore.
Yeah. And of course, we have to also keep in mind that I believe because I saw some news, the French GP may not be in 2023. They may have a Nice GP in 2024, and the Belgium GP may not be anymore
Yeah,
from
so I
next year.
saw about the Belgium GP and like, I mean, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, I could kind of understand it. Could kind of understand it because people were clamoring for this for a little while now. Not, I mean, obviously is one of those tracks that's you know it's a brand track, like it's a bread and butter. You want to see that track, but for some of these safety concerns, I think a lot of people were saying, we should probably kind of have that, not as a definite one, but who knows? We'll see. So I guess I'll probably just look at my team after free practice too,
Of course, yeah,
and maybe
yeah,
changes that. If
yeah.
I have
Well,
to look at it, I'll look at
yeah,
it then.
yeah. I will check out things tomorrow, and then tomorrow night I will finalize
Yeah,
the
yeah,
names.
yeah.
Yeah, for
Tomorrow night
sure.
might be my little
Yeah,
tinkering, because
yeah.
I
While I'm
definitely
tinkering
not
my
one.
FPL team, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm gonna try to tinker with that before 8 o'clock in the morning or
Yeah,
like
that
10
will make
o'clock in the
sense. Yeah,
morning.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That
I
crazy.
probably, yeah. So
Yeah,
we'll see, we'll see.
yeah.
What time you wanna wrap this up?
Well, I'm now gonna wrap it up now, so I can get ready to
Yeah.
shoot for FPL. I already have everything set up FPL just to shoot at 9. So yeah, I want to thank you for coming through. I will be alone Sunday if anybody want to come through Sunday in Alame because my co-host is busy in FOC. So let me know if
We
anybody want to pass
are actually
through.
taking a little beach house this weekend. I might have passed. We'll see. We'll see.
Would. But I want to thank you for coming through, guys. Don't forget, check your team, click that save button. Do not forget. And of course, like, share, and subscribe. We're doing everything. So we literally will be doing everything now at the same time. CPL coming up, F1 coming up, UCL coming up, right? Of course, FPL going right now, F1 going right now. So it's 5 different things there all at once. The channel will be hopping and busy. Find your way into one of our episodes. Jump in the comments. Keep
Hey,
us
I'll make me do
company.
the UCL one too, boy.
UCL
As
lit, bro. I don't know when we're doing that. We might do that Sunday. I'll be trying to plan that because UCL is very, very, very soon. Like way soon. So we're trying to make sure that we're on top of that. You might do a team selection video Sunday. So guys, stay tuned. Your home for the fantasy sport. All here. All right here. We see you all in the next one.
yeah.